Hey everyone, I knew I would have to make this video one day, but I'm still sad typing these lines at 1 AM, a couple of days before you are watching this. Unfortunately, I just can't chase this dream any further, and the journey of JustforlolzFYI comes to an end. I'm not disappearing off YouTube completely, but I'm afraid there won't be any more World of Tanks content going up on this channel. So, as so many of you have been following me for years now, I really owe you a quick video on why this is happening and what's the plan going forward. Probably nobody remembers this, but this channel was originally a Diablo 3 project, focusing on news and auction house strategies back in 2012. I managed to get about 700 subscribers back then, but I didn't really continue it once I left the game myself. Also, life got in the way, and although I did miss it, I didn't make any new videos for the next 2 years. Up comes 2014 and I fell in love with World of Tanks, courtesy of my then 5-year-old son who talked about it all the time. I also gave this YouTube thing another go, mostly focusing on funny moments from clips that I recorded myself. Now the main idea was to see if I could create funny moment series that was different in terms of the editing style than the already existing and already very popular videos out there. Now I'm going to be brutally honest here. To this day I simply can't watch those types of videos for more than a minute. Their creators are awesome people, I even had the pleasure of meeting some of them personally. But as for the content itself, for me they are just way too over the top and chock full with decade-old memes and effects. I'm not saying that my editing style is better, but the experiment I wanted to do was literally to see if others would enjoy the same type of content that I like to watch, instead of just trying to copy the mainstream trends. Now apart from the funny stuff, I did also try out a lot of other things as well around the game. Tank reviews, commentated replays, strategy guides, map guides, hell I even put together a couple of podcasts with some other cool content creators. But at the end of the day, the most popular stuff was always the funny moments videos, and as you probably know, YouTube also really hates variety, so after a while I only focused on this type of content. It was going slowly but steadily, and then all of a sudden, bang! The channel exploded in 2017. The algorithm pushed me really hard. For quite a while, mine was actually the fastest growing World of Tanks channel out there, even outgrowing Wikibabies and Jingles' channels week on week every single time. My videos reliably got over 100,000 views easily, and life was good. And then all of a sudden, literally from one day to the next, the algorithm just dropped me. Now I did try to find the reason for this over and over during the next couple of years, especially as I didn't change anything on my side. What most probably happened is that YouTube simply changed the way videos got recommended, and as my videos were gaining a ton of traction from getting recommended next to other already very large videos, I simply got sidelined by this change. So there was only one thing to do, put my head down and put as much work into it as I can, and I worked really hard in the next couple of years to try to bring this level of success back, pushing the channel as hard as I could and more, often sacrificing free time, family time, sometimes even sleep. But I could never replicate this again. I mean, still, sure, the channel did grow, slowly but surely climbing towards that coveted 100,000 subscriber milestone, whatever that means these days. And the videos were still well received when people actually stumbled upon them, because God knows YouTube was not much help there. But it was a ton of work, for admittedly not a great amount of profit. Still, I did enjoy what I did, I made just enough to be fine, and there was always potential that it might pick up one day again. Growth became slower and slower though as time moved on, and the paychecks also became slimmer and slimmer. I slowly started to realize that, despite all my efforts, I was actually fighting a losing battle here. So I started to experiment with funny moments videos from other games as well on the side, something that I was actually interested in since day one. And this eventually resulted in my second channel, Battlefails, being created. Now I knew it would take years to bring a brand new channel up to speed, but I thought I would still have some juice left in my original World of Tanks channel to allow for a comfortable shift. As it turns out, it was not to be. Last summer was rough. Constantly being home with the wife and kids would be awesome if you wouldn't have to work from home as well. It just didn't do my business any favors. I had to cut back on work to help out with the kids and, well, basically save my marriage. Both of my channels instantly nosedived, of course, and by the time I was back more or less in the autumn, things looked pretty grim. Now, I did try to revitalize both channels, but it only worked with the new one, and that's now approaching 10,000 subscribers. But as for my World of Tanks channel, well, as far as I can see, YouTube pretty much wrote it off, and it fell even further from the algorithm's grace. So much for being able to step off that damned YouTube treadmill for a bit, I guess. And this is pretty much where we are now. I did chase the promise of success for the last 3 years, but I have to draw the line here for JustforlolzFYI. Am I at the end of the day disappointed? Yeah, sure. Though I have to admit, this experiment was my most successful failure so far. I'm not quitting completely though. I will continue making funny gaming videos on my Battlefails channel, covering all major AAA releases with a healthy dose of Battlefield content in between. Things are actually looking quite positive, but honestly, I don't expect a major breakthrough up until the end of the year when Battlefield 6 will release. Jesus, please, let that game not suck. Now in the meantime, I'm also working on some very promising projects outside of YouTube as well, so I don't put all my eggs in one basket. I guess I won't really be bored this year either. So in short, that's the plan for 2021. Get vaccinated, get rich, and propel my second YouTube channels to success. Easy peasy. My fellow gamers, thank you so much for sticking with me for all these years. It has been an absolute pleasure creating videos for you that I knew would get a few smiles out there. If you were only here for the World of Tanks videos, I hope RNG will be kind to you in the battles to come. If you supported me on Patreon for this content specifically, I fully understand if you will cancel your pledge. No worries whatsoever. I hope, however, that some of you might be interested in the general gaming content too, and I'll see you over on the other channel. I have a link in the description for you. I recently featured Cyberpunk, Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Watch Dogs Legion, Spider-Man Miles Morales, and other new releases as well, and Hitman 3 is already in the works too. Thank you very much once again for this awesome journey in these last 6 years together. Your support did mean more to me than you will ever know. Happy gaming everyone, and maybe see you over on Battlefails.